So in this particular production, we have to talk about none other than Mr. Unlimited.
Mr. Unlimited. You gotta be unlimited.
Russell Wilson. It was announced yesterday, my time here in Germany, that the Broncos have informed Russell Wilson of his fate. Now, you all remember when he got benched toward the end of last season. They put the backup quarterback in per the instructions from one Sean Payton. They were also talking about him trying to restructure his injury clause and all that stuff. And there was even a hint of maybe some salvation that maybe the Broncos want to keep Russell Wilson. Well, now we know what the end result is and what the Broncos plan to do and what their future will be. And we got to rap a taste about it if you don't mind sticking around, all right? So without further ado, welcome to Normieville.
I can't say anymore. I'm probably already in trouble for mentioning it to a, well, we call you normies.
So as you can see here, the Broncos, this is per NFL.com, by the way. The Broncos informed quarterback Russell Wilson that he will be released. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch.
Broncos country, let's ride.
The Broncos are done with Russell Wilson and they plan to move on from him. Before I get to the article, I would like to read a few statements, if you will. This was a statement from the Broncos, and it reads as follows. We spoke with Russell Wilson today to inform him of his release after the start of the league year. On behalf of the Broncos, we thank Russell for his contributions and dedication to our team and community while wishing him the best as he continues his career. As we move forward, we are focused on building the strongest team possible for the 2024 season and beyond. We are excited to improve this offseason and will have the flexibility to get better through the draft and free agency.
Yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch.
Now, that's all professional jargon to say, you know, we're going to eat the fee to get rid of this guy because Sean Payton doesn't want him. And, well, we feel the experiment's over. So off you go. Now, this is a statement that was put out by Russell Wilson himself. And it reads as follows. Broncos country, thank you. Over these last 2 years, you have welcomed my family and me with open arms and have embraced us as members of the Denver community. This city will always hold a special place in my heart. Our family grew here. We made countless memories and friendships and formed relationships that will last a lifetime. To my teammates, thank you for going to battle together, for being there through it all. There are so many moments I cherish because of you, and I am blessed for the impact you have made on my life. I am beyond grateful for all of you, and to have been able to run out as your teammate was an honor. Court, I'll never forget your one-handed catch in LA and your toe tap in Buffalo. Bowles, you always wrapping your arm around me, win or lose. Brandon Johnson, your relentless work ethic. Jew, you snagging and high pointing that ball versus Kansas City. Javonte and Tim, y'all always being positive in the midst of injury but fighting daily to be back. Giselle, you running up to the end zone every practice. I still think Burden's got you though. Alex, from picking you up years ago to seeing you shine, to the O-line dinners at Los Dos, to everyone helping, like Lamar making sure I had all of the film and cut-ups, to Harry and Cole, the best pregame warm-ups. I'll never forget Wendy and Brandy in the cafeteria, bringing the good food but the even better jams. Thank you for always being uplifting. Finally, to Ray, aka Pastor Ray Jackson. Thank you for countless prayers daily. To give God the praise and give God praise daily, and us getting on the floor to thank Jesus for breath in the good times and the bad times. He always gets the glory. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. God's got me. I'm excited for what's next. Number 3. Now, that sounds like a very presidential speech, if you will, very choreographed, if you will. And I also like to add that I think he left out one Sean Payton out of this thank you letter, but that's another story. And to review before we get into this article, I know I'm getting long-winded here, right? But before we get into this article, I would like everyone out there to review what the Broncos gave up to get Russell Wilson. All right, follow me now. The Seahawks-Broncos trade details. Now, the Broncos received Russell Wilson and a 4th-round pick. Now, remember, this was back in, I think, 2021. Yes, I believe. The Seahawks received quarterback Drew Lock, which happened to be a good, decent backup. Tight end Noah Fant. Defensive line Shelby Harris. 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and 1 5th-round pick, okay? That is all they gave up to get Russell Wilson, plus the contract. You follow me? Now, all that being said, let's get into the article. The Russell Wilson era in Denver is over after just 2 seasons. The Broncos informed the veteran quarterback on Monday that they will release him after the start of the new league year in March 13. On behalf of the Broncos, we thank Russell Wilson, blah, 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 blah. Yes, the joint statement, as y'all saw that, okay? NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport first reported the news. You know he is the most famous NFL insider himself. They have decided to move on from Russell Wilson. It is what it is. In my opinion, again, there's blame to go around on both sides. A lot of people say that Russell Wilson was stat padding at the end of the games, even though they were behind. They did make a push before they benched Russell Wilson, and like I said, the experiment didn't go as they planned. And really, they got Russell Wilson to be a Super Bowl or bust type of situation. It didn't work out. And so now they're going to move on from Russell, okay? So let's continue. Wilson thanked the city of Denver in a lengthy statement, adding he was excited for what's next. Notably, the quarterback did not mention either Broncos GM or the coach. No, he did not.
Yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch.
Okay, here's the important part. As a result of parting ways with the highly paid signal caller, Denver will eat $39 million, but avoid a $37 million guaranteed trigger for the 2025 season that would have taken effect this month. Still, the Broncos will take on $85 million.
Congratulations! Oh my God.
The Broncos will take on $85 million in total dead cap salary over the next 2 years by releasing Russell Wilson, which will be the largest dead cap hit in NFL history. Now, there are people out there, and do not quote me on this. I'm not saying that's the case, all right? You make your own distinction, that tell me in the comment section. But there are people out there that are saying, with the release of Russell Wilson, this trade has now topped the worst trade in NFL history.
Bitch, ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way.
Yes. I didn't say it. They're saying it. You can see it all over Twitter. You can see it all over YouTube. People are saying that this is officially the worst trade in NFL history, with the length of time that he was with the team, what they had to give up, what they had to pay, and his performance overall while he was with the team is the worst trade in NFL history, all right? And we continue to read. The writing was on the wall for Wilson despite his recent protest. I'll get a dictionary for that one. In his recent protestations, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Just last week, he said on the I Am Athlete podcast that he hoped his future was in Denver. I think he was just being nice. He knew it wasn't going to last. Within 2 weeks to go in the 2023 season, and the Broncos not yet eliminated from playoff contention, Wilson was benched for Jarrett Stidham. The reasoning at the time was blatantly financial. Yes, indeed. Sitting Wilson with little to play for ensured that the quarterback didn't suffer a significant injury and provide Denver financial flexibility to move on from Wilson and avoid paying out the massive 2025 guarantee. As recently as last week, Payton was not publicly committed to moving on from Wilson. Finally, on Monday, the plan to excise Wilson from Denver's future and rid the franchise of a doomed union came to fruition. Wilson arrived in Denver via a blockbuster trade from Seattle in 2022 offseason. The Broncos sent 5 draft picks, including 2 first-rounders and 3 players, to the Seahawks for the Super Bowl champion services, and then inked him into a 5-year, $242.6 million contract. minting him as the face of the franchise under Peyton and new head coach Nathaniel Hackett. The results were a disaster. Wilson had his worst season as a pro under Hackett, who was fired after a 4-11 start to his first season in Denver, when the veteran Peyton was brought in to right the ship. Wilson improved but only marginally, leading to his benching and imminent departure. All told, Wilson played 30 games under center for the Broncos, leading them to an 11-19 record, completing 63.3% of his passes for 6,594 yards and throwing 42 touchdowns and 19 interceptions. Denver boasted one of the worst offenses overall with Wilson at QB.
Bitch, ain't no way. Ain't no fucking way.
Scoring just 18.9 points per game, 26 overall, and totaling 311.7 yards per game, 27th overall since 2022. Well, I don't need to go any further into this article. Okay, of course, I will leave a link to it in the description box. But you see what happened, all right? They gave up the house for Russell Wilson. They lost the bet, okay? Now they're homeless with his dead cap space and money, all right? And now they have to look to the future, probably get somebody at a veteran minimum to replace him, or go with Jared Stidham until they get out from under the cap, all right? Which means essentially they're going to be playing maybe with house money for the next, I don't know, couple years until they get their money, until they can get, out from under Wilson's contract, and then they can continue to get good in the draft or get somebody in a good trade, all right? So, but there are other teams that could use Wilson's services, and that a lot of people have alluded to out here in these YouTube streets, with Wilson getting paid still off of Denver for the next year or two. A team could pick him up for the veteran minimum, right? Somebody, mainly with the names are out there, are the Steelers, the Falcons, the Vikings, the Raiders. So there are teams that need a veteran quarterback with the potential and skills that Russell Wilson has. So he will have a bright future. On the other hand, the Broncos, well, they're up shit's creek, if you will, but I think they'll be okay, all right? They still have a good core. And if they can get somebody that can, just not make a lot of mistakes for the next year or two, they can keep the ship going until they get a big name, all right? So, again, the experiment didn't work. I wish Russell Wilson the best. I still think he's a great quarterback, and I like the Broncos, so I wish them the best as well. So, on that note, thank you for attending another episode of Normieville. You know me, I'm just Normy, here to bring you the latest and greatest in sports news, entertainment, and politics. Let me know what you think about this dumpster fire trade and departure from the Broncos, Russell Wilson, Mr. Unlimited. Let me know what you think about him down in the comment section. And please, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell on your way out of the door. And I will see you on the next video.